What is up? What's going on? If you're new here, which I'm assuming you are, since this is the first YouTube video on this YouTube channel. Anyway, my name is Christian. I am a weightlifter, gamer, most importantly, a Catholic. Now I gotta make a U-turn because I made a wrong turn because I'm taking a different route to the gym today. That's where I'm off. Just got out of Mass. It was a good time. It was Ash Wednesday today, if you couldn't tell. And so I am giving up caffeine for Lent this year. And man, is it already a struggle. But we're going strong. And we're going to make it the 40 days, man. We're going to do it. But you hit me at a good day, man. Today is legs mostly. I'm adding a little bit of chest in there too. But yeah, it's going to be mainly squats, some power cleans. Power cleans, more like clean and jerk. Not power cleans. That's later. Where is it? No. Actually, it is. I think it is power clean and jerk today. It's power clean and jerk today and snatches. So a lot of legs, and I'm adding a little bit of flat bench at the end of that workout just to get some extra chest work in. I'm taking it very easy here in the beginning of this training block I got going on, mainly because I took 2 weeks off and I needed it. I took 2 weeks off because I was extremely fatigued. Like, we're like way beyond dysfunctional overreaching, right? There's functional overreaching and then dysfunctional overreaching, where you lose performance because your residual fatigue is just accumulated so high. All this is jargon for I just trained way too freaking hard. But I was way past that. I was in like overtraining syndrome, where I literally had to take 2 weeks off and I haven't felt the same. Like, it took me at least a week and a half for me to finally feel okay again. So that was interesting. But now I'm feeling better and ready to get after it, man. So yeah, today's gonna be fun. New training block, fresh. My knees don't hurt, my joints don't hurt, my ligaments, tendons don't hurt. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to go. But yeah, today is the first day of Lent, Ash Wednesday. Yeah, another year of penance, another season of penance in the Catholic Church, where we focus on giving things up that we enjoy and offering them up to God as penance for our sins and the sins of the world. It's actually quite beautiful, and I love it. And so I'm really getting into it this year. I'm going to Mass 3 times a week. Really just doing everything I can to dedicate my time and giving it to the Lord. And yeah, man, it's going well. Today's the first day, but I kind of gave myself a little head start just to get used to kind of the schedule of what I want to do. So I've been going to Mass more frequently for the past like week, and this is the first day I'm actually going to be abstaining from meat. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to figure out a way to get my protein in. And I might have to make an Aldi run after this workout, but that's whatever. But other than that, yeah, kind of gave myself a little bit of time to acclimate with no caffeine. I'm on day 9, I think, because I didn't want to get rid of caffeine and also give up meat and just all this stuff at the same time, because I'm a masochist, but not like that. So I'm giving myself a little more time to acclimate with those things, especially with caffeine, man. I've had to... Caffeine, basically, I couldn't function without it for the longest time. I'd be drinking it every single day, multiple times a day, no breaks. And I'm wondering if part of that had to do with the fact that I was just so fatigued from all of my training, and I just needed that to function properly, to function normally, and even then it wasn't normal. Like, I have way more energy now than I did like buzzed out on caffeine way back when. So yeah, I would like to not have to be so dependent on caffeine. Like maybe 6 ounces every so often. I would like, if I could live without it, that's ideal. I don't know if I can though. Caffeine's just so good, but we'll see. Other than that, yeah, when it comes to training today, my goal for this whole like macro cycle I have conjured up is I want to be able to hit a heavier squat. I want to build my squat essentially. That's my main goal. In hopes to reach that 500-pound squat goal. I don't know if I'm going to get that, to be honest with you. I'd like to hit 500 pounds at like 185, like body weight pounds. We'll see. It's a goal, right? If I can reach it, good. If I can't, no problem. I don't want to like kill myself to get to that goal, is what I'm saying. But yeah, we'll see how I feel. Like I said, all my joints feel great, tendons feel great. Seriously, guys, take time off if you need to take time off. Like, if you feel like absolute dog shit and you're just fatigued, you have no energy, your knees hurt or back, whatever, and you're feeling really messed up, take some time off. And I know that like deload weeks are beneficial. They are. Where you just reduce intensity, reduce the load volume, all that good stuff. It helps, it does. But sometimes you just need to take time off. So just take time off. It seriously helps. I just took time off and I've never felt better. I mean, obviously, that means that when you go back into the gym, you're gonna have to start out lighter. But that's okay. It's super easy to get back into it. So just go in lighter and then slowly but surely get back up to where you were. And like, that's the best way to grow. Don't do basically Bulgarian like I do. Like the Bulgarian style training where you're lifting heavy every single session. You should not do that. Like, if you are a natural weightlifter, you should absolutely not lift Bulgarian style training. Like, even if you're on steroids, you should not do Bulgarian style training. You'll hate your life. But yeah. It's beautiful right now, dude. It's like 78 right now. I'm in Florida. It's a little humid on the humider side, so you know it's gonna rain. It's already sprinkling. It's 10:40 right now, late morning. But it's nice right now, man. Not as much sun, but usually that's the case. Like, if it's really humid, the sun usually, there's a lot of clouds around because of the humidity causing rain clouds to form, you know. But usually around now it's 75 and sunny. Like, it's mind-blowing, dude. I'm from Illinois, Chicago area, Naperville, if you know that area. Easy, bro, easy. A lot of old people. You gotta be careful, dude. Some of them have trouble driving. But I'm from Illinois, and it's kind of cold there right now. And it just blows my mind how amazing the weather is here around like February, even January, February, and like March. It's crazy. But yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys. I'll see you guys in the gym. All right, let's get right into it. So this was mainly a lower body day with a little bit of chest at the end, like I said. We started off with back squats today, then went on to snatch, power clean and jerk, with some bench press at the end there. And I did a little bit of sprint intervals towards the end too, just to get some cardio in. But yeah, as you can see, these squats are very interesting. If you look at my form on the squats, it's kind of hard to see because of the camera. My feet are much more narrow. They're closer together, which allows me to be able to drive my knees more forward, giving more quad activation, because I'm really trying to build those bad boys up. I want to have tree trunks, baby. But in all honesty, I really want to get them bigger. I feel like I could benefit from some hypertrophy in the lower body in order to improve my squat. The squat is the only exercise I'm really focusing on right now to get stronger, and maybe the bench. Not quite sure about that yet. But the main event is definitely the squat, which is why I started with it first. But after this, I did some of the Olympic lifts. I'm going to go pretty light on those, really focus on form. I'm not trying to get too heavy with those because, again, if you go heavy with everything at the same time, it's bad news for everyone involved. So we don't want that. And since it's the Lenten season, the season of penance, in the Catholic Church at least, I find it beneficial to talk a little bit about suffering. We all struggle with suffering. It's not going anywhere. It's a part of the life that we live in this fallen world. It was never supposed to be that way, but, Adam sinned and the whole shebang. You know how it goes. The rest is history. So what do we do with that knowledge? Like, what are we supposed to do with that? Every day we're going to suffer in some way or another, and if we do everything in our power to try to run from that suffering, it only makes it worse. And so if we can't run away from our suffering, it only leads to one other option, and that's to meet it head on. You can't be neutral, or else it'll run you down like a freight train. It's important to take suffering head on and accept it because it's a part of life, and understand that suffering is a builder. It builds you up. It makes you stronger, more resilient to life and life's hardships. It makes hard things easier, especially if it's intentional suffering. If you can choose to do things that make you uncomfortable, it's going to allow you to be more resilient when things that you did not intend to happen start happening. Like when the world starts falling down around you, you'll be more equipped to deal with it mentally, which is why you should work out. You should diet. You should do things that you don't want to do. There's something interesting that happens when you decide to do something that is extremely uncomfortable and that you know is going to suck, but you put your head down and get through it anyway. I don't have the exact studies or the science behind it, but I do know that there's a certain part of the brain that is activated that you're actually developing when you decide to do things that suck and you know you're going to hate it, but you go through and do it anyway. I guess you can say it's the discipline muscle of the brain. Either way, there's evidence that the more sucky things that you do that you don't want to do, the more resilient you become. And the more resilient you become, the more unstoppable you are. So, now that we know how to handle suffering, sometimes that doesn't help. Sometimes suffering just sucks and there's no way out, and you're just left with asking the question, why? Why, God? Why is all of this happening to me? I want to bring it back to what I was talking about recently when it comes to suffering being something that builds you up. God understands everything that you are going through, maybe even more than you know about yourself. And if he's allowing you to go through a season of suffering, it's because he wants to build you up. And this can be something so incredibly benign, like, oh, I have to get up earlier in the morning, to, oh my gosh, I just had a really beloved family member die and I don't know what to do with myself. All these things happen, and God doesn't do these things to us. I think that's an important point to convey as well. God doesn't do these things to us, but he allows them to happen to us. Those are two different things. And as horrible as some of these things can be, he wants to build us up. He wants to make good come out of the evil of this world because that's what he does. And he gave us an advocate. He gave us Christ, to whom we can offer up our sufferings to as penance for the sins of the world and ourselves. That's a beautiful thing. We can literally give Christ all of our suffering, offer it up to him as penance for all the bad that we've done and for all of the sins of the whole world. Like, your suffering, if offered up to God, can save a soul for eternity. So make no mistake, there is meaning in your suffering in the lens of Christ. In Christ, when you suffer, suffering takes on a completely new meaning. And that's the big point I want to drive home today, is that your suffering has meaning, and it's always going to suck. It's never going to be comfortable, and sometimes it might even seem impossible, but just understand that you're not alone. Christ is in it with you, and that he overcame the world and wants you to give him all of your burdens, and so that you can be light again. And it doesn't mean that suffering is just going to not be painful anymore, but it will give you the strength to overcome any and all struggles in your life, knowing that he's there to take that burden off of you, and that you can help people through your suffering by offering your sufferings up to him. Okay, I've said that word plenty in this video, enough times at this point. But yeah, I'll end on a good note. I really enjoyed this workout. I'm starting out light because it's been 2 weeks. I'm going to be ramping up here pretty shortly, probably in the next week. Really just going through the motions here in the beginning. Obviously, no one squats 95 pounds
unless you're like a beginner. I've been doing this for 15 years. Believe me, it's bad. It's really demeaning to me, but that's okay because you got to start somewhere, and we're going to get back at it. 500 pounds, baby. Let's get it. Hopefully. But yeah, I've been getting back into benching too. I haven't benched in like a year. It's been a solid 360 something days since I've last benched. And so I'm really excited to bring this back into my programming too. But I think slowly but surely I'm going to start rolling out more bodybuilding type of exercises. Mainly because I just love them so much. They're fun, man. Like incline dumbbell pressing, barbell bent over rows, the variation of the squat I was just doing, high reps, sweating your ass off. Man, is it fun. But yeah, that's all she wrote with this one. Training session done.
Did you see those squats in the beginning, dude? Damn. I was not expecting those to be that hard. It was like 95 pounds. And I was going down narrow stance. That's all I changed. I usually go down ass to grass, but I just narrowed my stance a little bit for more quad activation. Drove my knees more forward with the lighter weight. Slow. I changed the tempo too. Slow tempo. And damn. I felt those with the bar without adding weight. 45 pounds and I felt that. That's crazy. I never usually lift like that. So if you don't know me, well, you obviously don't because this is the first video, but I usually lift like 5x5 or like reps of 5, 4, 3, very heavy sets and reps, very low reps, right? Higher sets. And yeah, I haven't worked hypertrophy like this for a very long time. And I like it. It's much easier to recover from with hypertrophy training. That's one thing I really love about hypertrophy training that I miss, that I'm just now getting into again, is the fact that it's very easy to recover from session to session. And it's not so much the case for heavier lifting when you up the intensity a lot and lower the volume per se. It's pretty taxing, especially on the CNS, I've noticed. Not so much the muscles, but with hypertrophy training, it's not so much fatiguing to the nervous system as much as the musculature. But muscles recover fairly quickly compared to the central nervous system, right? Like you get a power lifter and they do like an all-out heavy max, they're going to be out for a while. They're going to be tired and fatigued for a while before they can actually do that again. They can't do that kind of output multiple days in a row. I mean, you can, but you would like actually kill yourself. And we don't want that, right? Life is good. Life is a blessing. So, and that's, again, one of the things that really hurt me before I took the 2 weeks off was the Bulgarian style training. So this is really nice. I'm looking forward to this training block, this hypertrophy block. It's going to be fun. But yeah, I just went to Aldi, got some protein that isn't meat because I'll be fasting from meat on Wednesdays and Fridays. But it's not just... Lent is not just about fasting with like physical food and taking out certain things that we enjoy. It's not just about the physical fasting, but more like the spiritual fasting, right? Where we fast from anger, we fast from hatred, and we feed on love, and we feed on the truth, which is Christ, and we feed on peace and joy. And find joy in the discomforts, because you're going to be feeling a lot of discomfort if you're taking away something that's truly, if you're giving up something that's truly, well, enjoyable to you and that you love to do on a daily basis, and it's hard for you to give up. If it's really hard and you're really uncomfortable through Lent, that means you're doing it right. You know, like if you're giving up something and it's easy, what's the point? That's not what Lent's about. By the way, if the camera looks, if the image looks a little less bright, I changed some settings. It was a little brighter on my way to the gym, so it might be a little better now. But yeah, Lent is it's almost like in the Bible too. It's less about like the physical things and more the temporal things and more about the spiritual things, the eternal things, right? The spiritual things we should give up are things that hold us back in our spiritual life and our daily life too. And a lot of that is hatred, anger, unforgiveness, That's a really big one. A really difficult one. Yeah, unforgiveness. If you hold unforgiveness in your heart, you shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. And that's the truth. It's less about, and that's the thing too, when it comes to forgiveness, you're never gonna feel like forgiving somebody that wronged you, like really wronged you. You're never going to feel like it. But like, forgiveness, it's not a feeling, it's an action. No one feels like taking a cold plunge first thing in the morning, but it's beneficial, and then sometimes you should. No one's gonna feel like forgiving somebody that has wronged them in really horrible ways. That's not the point. It doesn't matter how you feel. It's about the simple act. And it's cleansing, it's cleansing to the soul. So I recommend, if you're struggling with that, with unforgiveness, or even anger, maybe you hate somebody, take a step back. Understand that it's not about how you feel, but you need to forgive them. Not because you want to, not because you feel like it, but because that's what we are called to by Jesus himself. So, a little bit on that. But, oh man, this session was great. Yes, I can't wait to keep going. Tomorrow I have off. I'm training 3 days a week right now because, again, I'm slowly getting into things. I might up my frequency later, but I just don't want to overdo it again. And I'm addicted, so that's like one of the things that I need temperance in. You know, temperance is a virtue, and so I need to really focus on being focused and control my urges, you know? But, yeah. It's a good time, though. It is. I'm enjoying it. So I'm going to take it easy. 3 days a week. I love it. Next session is Friday, which I'm also fasting again. I got to change that. I have to change that immediately. I cannot train on the days that I'm fasting. Hell no. My protein's going to be down so far. So I'm going to change that. It'll be like a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday split probably. Not Monday, Wednesday, Friday like I planned. I don't know why I planned that. I just didn't see fasting as a factor when I should have. I've only been doing this for 15 years, can you tell? But yeah, what are you guys giving up for Lent? Let me know in the comments if you are participating in Lent this year. I recommend it. It's a very spiritually moving thing where you give yourself to Christ and you think less of yourself and more about others. You decrease and let him increase within you. And it's a good time, man. Catholicism is cool. It really is. It's dope. I love it. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Have a blessed rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Hopefully Wednesday. We'll see. But until next time, peace and God bless y'all. I'm not going to stop the recording now because I'm going really fast, so I'm going to wait until I stop. So you're not going to see this. It's fine.